Hello everyone, I am Xenogamer, and I've been thinking lately. Crazy, right? The Legend of Zelda series has always had some great music, and with the release of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, there are some new tracks I've really fallen in love with. While some might argue the focus on ambient sounds instead of big huge themes ruins the soundtrack, Breath of the Wild does have a bit of a lack when it comes to epic overwhelmed themes. I still believe Breath of the Wild's soundtrack holds some true gems. So why not take a look at those gems, you know? Top 10 tracks in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Let's do it right now. Go. Now before we officially start this list, let me just say, I love all of the tracks on this list, and it was very hard to narrow it down to just 10. So there are many tracks in Breath of the Wild I really love, and that I just couldn't quite get on the list. Also, if you have not yet beaten Breath of the Wild's main story, or have not yet played the game at all, I beg you, click off the video now, and come back later to finish. This game is amazing, and you should experience it yourself without spoilers. And finally, before we start, I have one rule. All the tracks on this list must be at least 1 minute long. With that out of the way, let's get started. At number 10, we have the track that plays when Link rides a horse at night. Or if you want the official name, On Horse, Night. Now this track is probably the simplest, in air quotes, on my list. The track is mostly piano, mimicking the sound of a horse trotting, but the real reason this track is so good to me is because of the tidbits of the Zelda series theme that show up in the track played on the violin. That's what makes this track so special. Hearing this song for the first time in Breath of the Wild is something special because it tells you, even though Breath of the Wild is different, it is still a Zelda game. This song does have a daytime version as well that pulls from Zelda's Lullaby instead of the main series theme, but for me, the night version comes out on top. The Talus theme is way more epic than it deserves to be. These things in late game can be destroyed in seconds. That aside though, this theme is awesome. The steel drums and the brass instruments really give this track a powerful feel, and it's just fun to listen to since there are so many instruments to hear. It's not a song I heard that often on my first run through Breath of the Wild, but this theme alone excited me every time I ran into a Talus, even if it was not really that hard.
Well, I'll be plucked. You defeated him, eh? Who would have thought?
Rivali, the Rito Champions theme. Now, this one is awesome, and probably should be number 1 on the list, but for some reason, I decided it should be number 8. Maybe because it is my favorite number. I don't know, but it really should be number 1. I mean, Rivali's theme starts with wind chimes. Wind chimes are pretty great. I mean, like, that alone should earn it the number 1 spot. But, I mean, Rivali, too. I mean, that's just icing on the cake. Yeah, just, this should be number 1. I don't know why it's even number 8. Wait, what was that? Biased? I'm not biased. You're biased! Okay, but seriously, my love of Rivali aside, this theme is pretty good. It starts slow and soft with an instrument that sounds almost like a harmonica, and with the help of the flute and piano, it slowly turns into something of a ballroom type dance. It's kind of weird, but it happens, and that's cool, you know? It's a good song. Go listen to it, because it's number 8 on the list, and that means it's good, so chop chop, go do that. Hateno Village. This theme screams peaceful rural country village. Well, I mean, if it's peaceful and rural, it can't really scream it, but, you get the point, you know. As one of the only areas unaffected by the Great Calamity of 100 years ago, Hateno is, as I said, a peaceful, quiet village located in the southeast of Hyrule, and the theme represents it perfectly. And whatever the instrument in the melody is, I swear I can't find it anywhere. I've looked online and everything. It sounds kind of like bagpipes, but I don't know. It's perfect. The only way I could describe this music is ear-pleasing. I just don't know how else to describe it. Wait, awesome? That's another good one. Yeah, that works. We'll go with that. There you go. It's awesome. Everyone loves Sidon. It's a fact. You can't deny it. It's there. Everyone who has ever played Breath of the Wild, they love Sidon. Not as much as Rivali, but they still really like him. If you played Breath of the Wild, as I said, Sidon, you should like him, because he's cool. Not as cool as Rivali, but he is still cool. Now, even though Sidon is not as good as Rivali, in my book at least, his music it's actually better, because you can tell it's further up on the list, so that kind of makes sense there, you know? You can kind of connect the puzzle pieces, but yeah, Sidon's theme is pretty darn good, and not to give away the rest of the list, but probably my favorite character theme in the game, so there you go. It's nothing complex, but the simple melody along with the flute and piano come together and make for a good theme that manages to sound sad, mysterious, and a bit triumphant, all at the same time. In my book, it's I don't know if it's an A+, because, you know, it's not number 1 on the list, but I'd say it's at least an A-. At least. Probably better, but you already got that A grade, so good job on you, Sidon. Overachieving, not really, because A is kind of like what you... Yeah, you know. Alright, on to the next one. And we're already at number 5. These lists grow up so fast. And Korok Forest, it just feels Zelda. It feels like the music you would hear if you walked through a forest in Hyrule. The best way I can describe it besides that is whimsical. It makes you feel at home and want to go explore a vast forest, and it's amazing, and I love it. And as if the sound and feelings of this weren't even enough, the visuals in Korok Forest are amazing. Beautiful. That's, yeah, same thing. But the lighting in the forest is awesome. It gives off a golden glow, and the Koroks are everywhere, as you would expect. It's called Korok Forest, of course. It's just a beautiful place, and even at night as well, with the lighting turning to more of a foggy light blue to represent the moonlight. And yeah, the only downside to this area is the frequent frame rate drops that you will encounter as you explore the forest. And even though I didn't pick the nighttime theme for this list, the nighttime theme is almost just as good. The Korok Forest atmosphere in general is just amazing, and it rules. I love it. This is the best. Maybe not the best. There's still some above it, but maybe not matched in atmosphere. So there you go. Let's go on to the next one. When you walk into Hyrule Castle for the first time and not know anything about what to expect, this theme is the first thing to clue you in. You are in a war zone. Scale the castle, fight Ganon. It's good versus evil to the death. But seriously, this theme is perfect for the state of the castle and what awaits you at the top. And the way it changes as you go in and outside is awesome as well. The whole theme of this place just sounds like a struggle of Zelda trying to contain Ganon. The song fights back and forth between Zelda's lullaby and Ganon's theme from Ocarina of Time, and it really makes you want to go face Ganon and save Zelda. You just feel so sorry for her, and you want to go help her. The only thing is that as you explore the castle, you're gonna find that it's going to take you hours before you actually go fight Ganon. But as you explore the castle, the music will keep nudging you and saying, hey, you still have a job to do. There is still evil in this world, and it is your job to take care of it. And it's just awesome. number 3, we have Rito Village, the nighttime theme. Rito Village is probably the most nostalgic song in Breath of the Wild. And while the daytime theme is closer to the original, the nighttime theme barely has the edge over it for me. And I can't stress barely enough because it was so hard to pick one of these two themes, and it took me forever to figure out which one I liked more. I eventually ended up with the nighttime, as I said, because I liked the softer sound of it more. So yeah, like many, when I first walked into this village, I heard this theme, and I could have cried. Not only is Dragon Roost Island from the Wind Waker one of my favorite songs in Zelda, but I also have kind of an emotional connection to the song since Wind Waker introduced me to the series, and Dragon Roost is one of the songs I associate with me discovering the game series, which I'm super happy I did because it's my favorite game series of all time now. Rito Village is almost the perfect song in my book. Lots of nostalgia, beautiful setting, and associated with Rivali. Oh, and when you finish all the cast quests and Cass and his kids sing He Doesn't Sing, okay guys, and play along, it's beautiful. How do you do a final boss theme right? By taking the amazing main theme of your game and remixing it. As disappointing as the final boss fight may be in this game, it makes sense. For thousands and thousands of years, Ganon plagued Hyrule as the embodiment of Demise's curse. After being resurrected time and time again, he gave up on reincarnation and took the form of pure hatred and malice. This meant losing his physical form and intelligence, which is why in the final battle, Ganon does not attack you directly, but rains destruction on whatever he can. Breath of the Wild may not have many big, amazing tracks, but this one is definitely big and amazing. It takes the main theme of the game and remixes it with other themes from throughout your adventure, encapsulating Link's entire journey through Hyrule in one epic final fight to reclaim Hyrule, avenge his fallen friends, save the princess he swore to protect, and put an end to Demise's curse. And so here we are, with only one spot left on the list. This last song is something of a masterpiece. Can I get a drum roll, please? The final song on this list today is... Isn't it a true masterpiece? I could cry. I promised myself I wouldn't do this. Promised myself I can't do it. I don't know if this is laughing or crying. When I first made this list, I knew what would take the #1 spot from the very beginning. Terrytown. Terrytown is one of the most interesting towns in the game, since you don't start the game with the town already built. Instead, you must go and build the town yourself, with the help of Hudson, of course. When I entered Terrytown for the first time, it was just a piece of land with a lot of rocks, which is why I was surprised to find it had its own music. I was intrigued by the music. It had a soft, peaceful feel, only a little basic, but still, it was a good track. Then I talked to Hudson, and he explained he intended on building a town on this piece of land called Terrytown. However, to build, he would need me to gather lumber for the buildings and help him find potential residents. After searching close by Death Mountain, I found a Goron fed up with his job, ready for a new start. So I sent him to Terrytown. Upon returning to the town, I noticed the music had changed, adding the trombone from Goron City to the melody. After returning from the Gerudo Desert with the Gerudo, I noticed a new string instrument in the mix. The basicness of the track was fading away. On a trip back to Rito Village, I found a Rito wanting to start his own shop. I told him of Terrytown, and he was off. When I finally returned back to the town, a new Windwood instrument had been added. Upon talking to Hudson again, he informed me that he had been engaged to the Gerudo, Rodson, and that they needed one final person for the town, a priest, to marry them. I remembered an old Zora priest I had met at Zora's domain, and set out. Upon returning with the Zora, I found the song in Terrytown was no longer the same. It was complete. It was a perfect mix of all the people and cultures of Hyrule. An amazing theme. Hudson asked me one more favor before the wedding, which was to invite his best friends back in Hiteno Village, Bolson and Carson. That night, Hudson and Rodson were married, and the beautiful cultural melting pot of Terrytown was born. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy it, why not click the like and subscribe button below the video to stay tuned for more amazing videos just like this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the new format of top 10 videos. I did a ton of work on this one, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you thought there was something missing on my list, why don't you just go ahead and comment down below. We can have a discussion about some other cool songs in the game. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you had an amazing time and have an amazing day. Stay awesome. Bye-bye!